D-May got the passengers on board. Look at all the sleeping on that we endured. Trevor got his foot to the floor.
I don't really know how to get there, but
Nah, I mean, we can just...
no beers today, boys.
I'm all
think so.
beered out.
I'm sorry to say I'm kind of bearded out too.
Those 3 cores last night were... Dude, they're awful.
They're not good.
I wasn't even drunk last night, and I still woke up this morning feeling like I had a long night of drinking.
Party Mike said no way.
Yeah, we had to run to the gas station and get them Bud Lights, dude. I said,
Party Mike made his. Well, I didn't go.
I've got a legendary picture, actually. I got to show you. This one's going somewhere for me. I know that.
oh, dude, I seen this picture happening in the moment. I was like, I know exactly what he's
Oh,
doing.
I seen that. Yeah, that's great.
How awesome was that?
I
dude?
actually told KG, I was like, please, bro, no disrespect when I say this, but the half gray, half black beard is fire.
He's got a Wiz Khalifa patch in the beard.
Low key, he does. All right, bro, I'm gonna get us in here. What's up, everybody? No Look Passengers, episode number 60, dude.
60 episodes.
Keeping them moving, man.
It's
Number
60
crazy.
of them things, man.
You know how Brock was showing us last night his friend's podcast? That was actually a pretty popular
Shout out to
podcast.
Brock, bro.
Yeah,
He's
shout out to Brock.
He was a cool dude.
Brock is a cool dude. He needs
We got to get him to come.
Yeah,
watch
he needs to
wrestling.
come
That's
up.
what I was telling him, man. I said, let us know. Pull up.
Yeah.
Like, talk with Trevor.
But he was showing me his friend's podcast that was actually quite a bit more popping than ours is. And he said, well, they haven't done anything since 21 or 22 or whatever it was.
And they got 39 episodes in.
39 episodes in, and I was just like, man. I said, no, you know, I'm not talking shit, but we're about to touch 60, so that's really motivating.
I mean, it's just consistency, man.
It's
We
tough.
really kept it pushing.
Like that's,
We-
That's,
I
that's
mean-
the phrase of the day, man.
we
that's a
don't
fact.
we don't always have like the most interesting stuff to offer on every episode, but the fact that we just know that you have to keep doing it.
I mean,
and
that's-
keep
that's what
doing
it's
it.
about.
It is, and just like conversation, we get into them sometimes. I'm like, man, that was a pretty good conversation.
Speaking of last night, bro. Shout out to Spotlight Scotty Brooks, man. We went down, watched the wrestling match. I got the boys to go with us, man. Did you guys have did you have a fun time? Shout out to Jay Spence, Corey Bird, Jamie. Shout out to Corey Bird, man. You know what I
Yeah, I
love?
got to meet him for the first time.
One of
He's
my
a cool
favorite
dude.
things about the whole night was like seeing Corey Bird and Trevor hang out.
I like Corey.
Like they went out to the car, because
We sat there. We was
Allegedly.
having deep convo.
yeah, he said that's what he said when I went
They're
out there. He
crushing
said, this is
beers
how
in
it
the
happened. He was
parking
like,
lot.
we just opened a beer. We were gonna chug them, go back. He said, but then we just looked out this way, started talking.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, 25 minutes later, I was like, damn.
Talking about like stuff that happened to us in our early 20s and how it's like so hard to not hold on to that and let it continue to bother you in your life. Like you got to let go and move on.
Yeah.
You know, he's talking about what he did in
Spence
college.
is calling me right now, literally.
But get him on. Get him on the pod.
Jay Spence, what's up, bro? You're
What's happening?
you're live on the podcast right now, man.
Well, I'm live. Well, let me hop off here then. I got your action figures.
Oh yeah, I forgot we got. the
Also,
action
we got
figures
the
last night.
signed poster in the back of the Acura, man.
We do got that too.
Jay Spence.
What's good?
What's up, baby?
I'll bring it to you.
All right, bro. Pull up later if you want to. Pull up right now if you want to. Shit.
All right, say less.
All right, dog.
That's a good dude.
Great dude. But seeing Trevor and Corey Bird hang out was fire. It was cool.
I've heard his name a bunch of times and never could put a name to the
and
face.
Jamie too. Like Jamie's my dog. Like I don't think I've even, bro. He like in high school. He came over one night, and like he just never left. And like that was it. And like vice versa, I would go stay with him for like a week at a time. And then that was my dog. We like no homo. We slept in the same bed together. Like
Be like that.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
watch wrestling together. Then play ball together. Like me and him used to be a menace back in my heyday. Before the accident, and I broke both my feet. And
Before the
and
accident.
the same toe twice. Like we was hooping. Like me and Jamie were kind of like we weren't the best hoopers, but like we could talk some shit. Like we got
He's hurting some feelings getting in people's
oh
heads.
bro, we got some people frustrated. And at the time, Jamie was athletic. He I ain't going. He's not the same Jamie as he was when he was hooping. But Jamie could dunk at one time. Like Jamie ain't dunking now, but like he would like be talking shit, and someone would. I mean, he would foul him obviously, but they would go for a layup, bro. He would just jump knee to the side of the head, put him out, like menace. minutes.
I
right?
remember him and Jay Spence too from like when I started hanging with you when I'd moved out here.
Yeah.
Just being associated with all them. So I know they're good folks, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Good people, man.
Mhm.
But did you guys have fun? You guys
Dude,
I know I like the thing about wrestling for me is you don't got to take it serious to have a good time.
No.
You just invest in it in those few hours, and it's just like it's fun. Some of it's funny. Like it's a good time.
Yeah.
It was a good time. I
It
can't lie.
was fun.
bro, we crushed beers
In a parking lot.
allegedly
Off premises though, not
off premise. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got in there, and I feel like it was just like the tourist game, dude. We were like the life of the party because nobody else wants to be jumping up and getting into it about it.
Especially in like a small, close quarter
'cause it's
place
not
like
as
that.
big, so-
It's a little bit more personal, so people are kind of nervous to get into it, I feel like. But once we started getting into it, we even at the end, whenever we was, doing our Spotlight Scotty,
Come on,
we had the whole place doing
Bro,
it, man.
we
Every
were-
chant, dude.
We were the energy, bro, the whole night. But same thing as like the tours, bro. Like that's what I don't know. It's just
I feel
and
like
then-
at the tourist game, more people were probably looking down at us than they were out at the actual game. I'm sure.
for sure. They were like, look at
I
these.
just want to talk about one moment last night, though, that was kind of electric in my eyes. And it wasn't even during the wrestling. But whenever you go to, like, 3 counties over and you get out of the car and someone goes, there's the no-look passengers.
Oh yeah.
That shit is fire,
How
man.
cool is that, man?
That was cool, man.
It was
It was actually really cool. I was like, I never seen that guy in my life.
humbling.
I know he
Yeah.
knows us through someone mutual or something.
But it even happened at the tours game. Like
It did.
we're-
It happened at the
we're
tourist
going
game.
to get a glizzy, and then you hear "Party Mine."
Yeah.
You know, it's like
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's cool. It's a cool feeling. Like it's almost like
It's just like some reassurance. Like, you know what you're doing is where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing.
and then
It kind of is. It's like the universe telling you, like, okay, maybe everything's not, it hasn't taken off and it hasn't done this or that yet. But, like, there's, like, one of those little signs from the universe to keep going that I talk about all the time. It's like I talk about the other stuff I've done. It's like I always worked real hard at stuff and it never took off or never went anywhere. And I never got those little signs from the universe. But everything I've been doing in my, the past year of my life, I've had all those little signs. It's like, oh, okay. So like something about this
yeah.
is there, and then the way that things kind of mesh together, like I can see the things that I'm doing right now, they're gonna start to mesh together. Like not only did someone know who we were, but like pulling up to the place, one of my homies just pulls up behind us at a stoplight in the
stoplight.
M3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are yelling at each other back and forth out the window at a
It's just like
stoplight.
random and shit. It's just like
That was tight.
I don't know. It's those little things from the universe.
Another cool thing, not to spill all the sauce, but this one dude came up to Jay Spence and was like, "Hey, I run this other wrestling organization. It's in another county over. We got this show next week. You guys got the energy. Like, I need you guys there.
Yeah.
I got tickets.
Front row seats.
Front row,
We need
like,
you in them seats.
Like literally, like please come. Do what you're doing right now.
See, the cool
down
thing
here.
is, bro, is like
Now it's like say less. We're booked. You know
I would
what I'm saying?
also
We're in
been
there.
like, I kind of heard some of that conversation, but now thinking about it, these things are so small that like I bet we could get an easy sponsorship.
So check this out. I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
How cool would it be to be like, all right, listen, when are you setting up? When is it? I may cut this out. But bring us a table, get us a cloth, bring the interface, bring 3 microphones, and literally rotate. We could do a 2-hour episode, rotate all these dudes in and out.
Almost like commentary.
Not necessarily commentary.
Not necessarily, but in its own way, a little
Literally,
bit.
like, because this
Damn.
this one we're going to check out is they actually have a YouTube. Let me.
Yeah, I seen them putting
Shout
you
'em
on
out.
to the
I was
channel.
kind of sauce last night, so I didn't really. My memory is not
I
necessarily
swear I
the
wasn't
best.
sauced whenever I hit the interstate last night.
Wrestling Evolution, man. They're based in Denver, North Carolina, but they have like their own YouTube. Like they be shooting, like it's pretty legit. So they have a commentator and stuff. So my thought is like, let's set up in the corner like one of these vendors did,
dude.
and let's rotate these dudes one and out. Well, like pause on that.
And talk with them after each match.
Not talk with them after, but before, just kind of like let them come in. Like, what you got going on? This is what's up, bro. Like, I think that would be cool. Just like a live podcast, almost. Pretty much is what I'm saying. Like, set it up, check it out, talk. Like, who is this guy? This guy looks
the whole us, and then parts of the match. Or
we
whatever.
don't even have to know him. Just like we can point him out and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Get little 2-minute interviews with the wrestlers.
for sure. We'll get Spence
Pull
down
up
there.
with a lifetime table.
Listen, that's the thing with Spence. Y'all seen him last night in action, bro. He's a mingler.
Yes.
Like he will talk to.
I did notice that.
He talks to everybody, dude. So we'll sit there at the table. We'll send Spence around, and be like, hey.
I seen him do that at Kickback Jacks, looking for a damn straw for his cup last night.
Oh, man.
Hopping around inside the restaurant, just talking to people.
He's a mingler.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, all of us, I feel like we kind of start. I feel like I'm noticing we can kind of get into this bag of like trying to make these connections and just like making genuine connections and relationships with some people. But
And I think that's the most fun part about it. Is like, and this was kind of the goal coming in, was I want to talk to all these people. I want to have good conversations with everyone. You know, they don't have to just be a wrestler, but you know, that's just what we hit last night. So be it. I want to talk to some of the tourist dudes that
I want to talk to just
seen us going crazy.
people who
Cool people, good people.
I want to talk to
really
people
it.
who do just regular stuff,
yeah,
and I
Both
want to do
sides.
that. Yeah,
yeah.
I want to
sure.
talk to people who do cool stuff or what some would consider cool and things that people wouldn't consider cool, because you got to think about those things that they're doing. Somebody's got to do them.
Yeah.
And those people should get love for it too, even if it's not the most exciting
Like I said,
thing.
dude, we're going to get old buddy from Bojangles drive-thru. He coming up next week.
Hey, he going to be on the mic like this. Oh, yeah, that's it, 14.
Pull to the next window.
Next window, sir.
Speaking of Bojangles, man, I asked Trev to give me a chicken biscuit today, and he
They
tells me
fucked
this
me.
story. He says, "Yeah, bro, I got you one, but they didn't put it in the bag."
I literally didn't
Allegedly.
check it. I didn't check
Allegedly.
it. No, I swear. So what happened was I figured it out. I went there and I ordered 2 Cajuns, and I said, I want a medium fry. And he's like, you want a combo for both of those? I said, no, I just want the one medium fry. And I think he gave me 1 combo.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I was going to be like, you know what? Give me the Bowberry sausage too. I was going to bring you one of those. And I waited in line for 15 to 20 minutes maybe. And it was so bad that, like, I think the people behind me thought that I was just sitting there ordering like 80,000 things, bro. But I'm just sitting there not saying nothing because he told me, I'll be with you in a minute.
Yeah.
And it took 15 minutes.
This dude getting the tailgate.
I'm starting to get all anxious. I'm an anxious person. I'm like, these people behind me. Then someone about to beat them.
Overthinking every, like, you
Yeah,
looking in the
dude,
rear
like-
view mirror, looking
There's
at their
probably
face.
3
like,
people in there, and bro was having to cook the meals. And
Yeah, dude, I'm like worried. So then I think I spazzed out and I checked out a little bit. I almost pulled off. I ain't gonna lie.
It's okay, man. Like I said, somehow, I don't know. I'm on a diet today.
You said it was fate, right?
It was
It's
fate.
like it was
yeah.
meant to happen.
I
Trying to get right.
I woke up all motivated. I've been listening to Deion Sanders interviews the past like 3 days. I'm so ready for college football also. That's what I'm most excited for. It's like 2 months away. Game comes out, I think, next month. I'm geeked. Y'all are going to see me in here going crazy. I'm going to be having the headset on, sweating, pacing around.
We ought to stream that, dude.
I'm going to. Anyway, so I'm listening to Deion Sanders interviews, getting motivated. I woke up this morning. I'm like, nah, man, you gotta go work out. You're gonna eat good today. You're gonna go to the grocery store, all that. First thing I open my phone, Trevor's like, going to get some Bojangles chicken biscuit. You want one?
I need one in the morning after
And I
3
was
course
like-
lights.
Yeah, sure, whatever. So I gave in, but the world saved me. You know, it was like a mulligan. He was like, hey, bro, chill
Shout out
out.
to that guy at Bojangles for being absolutely not good at your job.
You know, I hate you paid for it. Did you pay for it?
Yeah.
Damn, got him. Shiesty.
I hope one combo isn't $13.
It might be.
Nah.
in this day and time,
Probably
man.
like 8, 9.
Inflation,
Because I get the 5-piece Supreme combo sometimes, and that's usually like 11 something.
bro. Would you say the chicken supreme is like the best fast food chicken tender?
Absolutely.
It's up there.
Like I think
It's
it's
either
got that
them-
perfect kick to it.
It's either them Popeyes or Raising Cane's?
I think Raising Cane's is good. I think it shits on Popeyes.
I just feel like you've never had a good Popeyes meal. Like, you got to go to a good
I have not.
Popeyes.
It shits on Zaxby's.
Zaxby's is whatever. Their chicken's a little bit rubbery.
But the sauce is what makes
The
Zaxby's,
sauce and the
you know.
fries and the fact that you
That
can go
Zax
get the.
sauce is crazy. Imagine a chicken supreme.
And some Zax
And some
sauce.
Zax
I don't know, bro.
sauce,
I
bro.
think Bojangles honey mustard is the best sauce
Ooh,
there is in
yeah.
the face of the planet.
It's a solid.
That or
splash some
Chick-fil-A
Bo-Rounds in there?
sauce.
You could splash anything. Sometimes I'll be dipping the biscuit in there.
I always dip the biscuit in there.
Like,
I buy an extra honey
It's just
mustard.
bread. Like,
He said, I'd be
bis-
putting that in my sweet
yeah,
tea,
can I
dog.
get a honey mustard biscuit?
Dog, it's good. I mean, to me, it ain't no different than someone just putting grape jelly on there or butter or
Grape jelly makes sense. Butter makes sense.
honey mustard.
But
Not
you would
really,
never
but
spread honey mustard on a biscuit.
nah, you just dip it.
But you definitely dip it.
Yeah.
I
the
love that,
Bojangles
dude.
bun.
That's my favorite thing ever.
I think their fries are the best too. I'm not a fry guy.
I love their fries, but I mean, if their fries ain't seasoned though, mid.
Facts.
Whenever they don't
You gotta
season
have
them, they're
the
stingy with that
Cajun
shit now.
seasoning.
Bro, I be asking, can I get some seasoning in a cup? They'll be like, yeah, and then I just dump it on everything, dude. I'm walking. If I don't get diabetes,
Knock on
if
wood,
I don't get
bro.
high cholesterol,
Yeah.
I'm very
That's
very
some-
big into seasoning.
That's like the #1 killer in America, bro. You got.
You know the video with Fat Boy SSE and T Grizzly with
food
like
be too seasoned.
that's me, and I love that
Food
the
be
joke
too
is like,
seasoned.
oh, white people don't like their chicken season or their food season.
Yeah, because
not this white dude.
Man, my girl want to grill out all the time, and sometimes she'll like, I'm hungry, and she'll like try to start it on her own and start cooking food, and I get so mad. And it's like, it's not bad when she does it. Like, it's good. I'm not saying that. And she does salt, pepper, and a little bit of seasoning, but it's just not like me, you know. And it's like, I know, like, you just don't care about this right now. Like, when I do it, I'm here like,
No,
I got
I
the
seen you
perfect
chefing.
cup.
I seen you
Like,
grilling, dude. I seen you had all them seasonings laid out. You was dialed in.
You
You had
gotta,
it down
but
to
you
a
got,
T.
it goes in layers too. Like, that's how I do it. You can't just
Yeah.
mix and match. If you ever put pepper on something first, you're crazy. You know, like if you're seasoning something, that's
I
insane.
do always go salt and then pepper.
You
for
should,
some reason.
as you should. That's
Yeah.
what it's called, salt and pepper. It's not pepper and salt.
I don't know why I just like automatically do that, but I guess
But see,
maybe
you
that's
don't
what I
even
was
go,
taught.
This is
and
the
I didn't
key,
even
though.
know.
I'll give you the key, bro. You gotta go salt, garlic powder,
Onion
then
powder.
pepper. If you want onion powder, but I mean that's the base. It's salt, garlic powder is on everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's a standard for me.
And pepper last.
Well, it depends. I would go pepper's like the base layer, and then if you want another seasoning, like if you're gonna cook something special, like you got like a different kind of tub that's like, steak
that,
rub or something.
The Himalayan
Chicken
pink
rub.
salt.
Then that's the key. Don't be using no table salt, pink salt.
Yeah.
I ain't never used that.
Really?
You might have put me on to something.
I'm telling you, it's got
My
like
brother-
more nutrients and iron or whatever the salt is, magnesium, sodium. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't fucking know.
My brother, he likes to, he's got like a big smoker. I ain't gonna lie, my brother, he's just always been able to cook
Yeah.
since he was a little kid,
We should get a smoker in the living room.
dude. Whenever he smokes like all different kinds of stuff at one time,
Oh yeah.
and the way that he seasons it, dude, is just like,
He's got the Traeger, so he can like kind of temp each thing.
oh
at the same
yeah,
time off
yeah.
his phone.
Dude,
Oh,
he'll
man,
he'll
it's
get this
fire.
big ass thing from the market. It's just a big slab of bologna.
Okay,
And
smokes
smokes it, like puts
Hollow
the
it
cuts
out,
in
yeah.
it, dude. It's
Damn, dude.
fire. You just go up and you just take pieces of it.
Yeah, I've
I
had.
never
some,
had no smoked bologna.
It's so good,
bro.
It's.
one-
I feel like
Had it
it's
fried.
yeah, fried bologna is good, but I feel like this
That's
is
some
now
trenches
the
shit.
only acceptable way to do bologna.
I could never. Make sure you tell her this when you see her. Like, I could like my grandma made the best fried bologna sandwich.
Really?
Like I can never do it the same way. Like I don't know. She like cuts the bologna in a different way. I don't know. It's just like I can't do it.
That's
There's
experience.
a couple things I can't like cook. Like fried bologna I can't cook. I'm not really great with the eggs. I'm getting the over medium down. Like I can make them, but they don't taste great. Like I'd rather probably have a Fent head from Waffle House make it. And I can't cook oatmeal, which sounds crazy because it's just microwave. But bro, the shit's bubbles over every time.
You
Like
don't
I've-
just boil get like I got a kettle and I heat the water up.
See,
And then I'll pour it in with the oatmeal.
that makes more sense, but I ain't gonna heat a pot of water. I can put it in the mic. I think my thing is it should be easy, and I can't do it.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna keep microwaving it until I can figure it out. Because my mama could make it, my mom can do it, Mary Beth can do it, all the women in my life can do it pretty much, but I can't do it. Like if I fuck it up every time, like it explodes in the microwave. Oatmeal, bro. Every time. I've tried milk, I've tried water. 10 seconds at a time I've tried, and then just it's dog shit when I make it.
I remember my dad put me on to putting milk in the oatmeal, but I think he was always trying to get me and my brothers to drink milk because we were some skinny kids. And he's just trying to
I hated milk as a
get them
child.
bones growing, you know.
Bro, I got a weird taste for milk like later in my life, and I'm lactose, so I don't mess with it now. But there was times where I'd be like, you know what? I just want to chug a glass of milk. Just
never
weird
ate-
because I never
Yeah.
liked it as a kid.
I started drinking like when I started working out for a little bit. I go get like a chocolate milk after.
I mean,
kind of
chocolate milk's different, obviously, but like.
I mean, I
just
like the
white
chocolate
milk, I ain't
protein
into
milk
it.
and stuff.
Bro, you talking
And then
about
the milk.
Waffle House? I was thinking like the Fent Head cooking. I mean, they say all the best cooks are smoking outside when you get there, right?
Oh, for sure.
Back in like early 2000s when you could smoke in restaurants, were they in there smoking while they were cooking?
Probably.
Probably, for sure.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I'm saying. But what a time.
It's like, damn, is this pepper on my eggs or ashes, dog?
You look at videos from back then, and the world just looks like a better place.
Yeah.
In ways, I think people were a lot happier because
For
there was
sure.
less. There was less of an expectation to be a certain way. Like now, I feel like everyone's so stressed out because everything's just so extra. Like, when did we get so extra? When did people start worrying about so much
I
shit?
feel like I've come to the conclusion that everybody is anxious, dude.
yeah,
Whether they
gotta
talk
be,
about
right?
it or not, because like
yeah. I
I've
think a
always
lot of
been
people just
anxious.
don't know that
we
they
all
are.
talk about like
But is that-
being that way sometimes.
Now, I don't want to, like, start a whole different conversation, but like,
I kind of want to go down
that-
this rabbit hole.
is that anxiety or is that just like what we're supposed to feel as humans?
I think it's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to feel as humans.
You
It's
know,
got to.
like,
It's a natural feeling.
I think that is your inner clock or your inner God telling you to do something that you don't want to do because it'll be worth it.
yeah.
So like, is it really that I'm anxious or it's like really like you're excited?
Exactly.
I think there's a very thin line between
Because you meet people
anxious and excited, and I'm an anxious person and I deal with it.
like you can meet people sometimes and like you can kind of feel like there's no emotion, like,
Yeah,
so it's like
anxiety's been my biggest double-edged sword in life. It's the reason why I do
Same.
some of the crazy stuff I do, but it's also the reason why I've burned a lot of bridges and messed up a lot of things and gotten a lot of things wrong and ruined relationships because like my anxiety will drive me to the point
You'll spiral.
where I won't like someone wants me if someone starts expecting too much of me, like I'll end up not intentionally doing them wrong, but like I will, and then I'll have anxiety about
that.
just that, and then
It's a domino effect.
it'll
of
push me so
anxiety.
far that like I just kick them out of my life, just like without a that used to be me. Like now I've started
Yeah.
facing my fears a little bit, like even with this stuff, and like
I don't think we'll ever not have anxiety in life.
I
a
think
fact. I
everyone's
think it's
got
always
it.
Things
I,
that are going to hit you.
I think everyone just processes it differently, and like other people just don't even know that that's what it
But
is.
see, I think that's part of the game. Like, I think you're supposed to feel that, and then when you get old, and and like, I don't want to put a time frame on it, but like your last 5 years, like a lot of people in my life, they don't seem complacent, but it's like they know they have a sense of like, this is what it was.
Everything
and
is
it's like,
what it is, you know.
so I think it's like just a level of getting to that place, maybe.
I really think it's like the world's way of telling you what you need to do. Like when you get those feelings about something, you need to dive into that like head first, jump off the deep end with that. That thing that gives you that little bit of almost
that
excitement.
motivator.
Like I said, the anxiety is, you need that as a human. Like that's what makes you feel good.
That's how you know it's real.
The anxiety can make you stay in the bed and make you have more anxiety and feel like shit another day. Or you can get up and tackle those things. Like, as human beings, we need to do the errands and we need to get the certain work done. It's
Yeah,
like,
mean,
I
that's-
get anxiety about, editing the podcast or whatever it is. And then, like, the day that we sit down and we just do 2 back to back, I just, go for it.
It's
And I
like-
feel better about myself when it's over.
It's more like it's like doesn't even have to go so deep, bro. It's very like sometimes I feel like life is a bunch of yes and no questions, or do it or don't. You know, the outcome will be whatever the outcome will be, but do it, try it, or don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's kind of no sense, and I think that's where like anxiety is like in that middle, is like in the question of whatever you're doing, but it's like the answer is do it or don't. You know what I'm saying? Or like, do you want this? Do you understand what work goes behind it? Is this what you want? Yes or no. Like, that's kind of like, it doesn't have to be so complicated.
It doesn't, but that's what we as human beings do. We overcomplicate shit.
No,
For
that's
no
a fact.
reason.
But
For
I
no
also
reason.
feel like sometimes that's kind of a closed-minded way to view things too. Is like,
Just
No, there's-
that's just what it's supposed
there
to be.
is other options, you know, there are other feelings into decision making, you know, but at the end of the day, like, you make the decision, you either this or that, you know. It's kind of the better way to put it, this or that.
Yeah,
you know.
and whatever the outcome is, if it's one that you don't like, then you should have learned for the next time that you feel that way, and then you decide, okay, how do I approach this now?
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's a phenomenon.
It's just so many
I would
choices
say.
in life, and
The
you just pave in your
phenomenon
life,
of anxiety.
the road of your life. There's so many choices, and that's going to pave which way you go.
It's a
Like I said, it's your inner God, and
true.
outcomes
It really
are always
is.
what they're
That's
supposed
fear.
to be.
Fear and anxiety.
Yeah,
I don't know, bro. I think one of the toughest things for me, bro, is like a lot of the anxiety and anxiousness lies within like stuff that I want, you know. So it's like
True. Yeah.
you know, my real life, shit's been going on in my real life, and it ain't been, you know, shit's happening, and I'm dealing with real life stuff, and like I'm anxious about that, but that's way more important to be anxious about than I guess the dreams. But sometimes it's like I want this more, you know what I'm saying? Like I want it, like this just consumes me, and like the dream and like what I want for my life, for me sometimes is like, you know, more of what bothers me than like my day-to-day stuff. Like I can kind of stone face handle stuff that bothers me in real life because it's like,
It's those constant thoughts that
yeah,
you know what you want and you don't have it yet, and you are constantly like thinking of how you need to get there or how
but
you
it's
need
like,
to
and
achieve
then it's
that.
and then it's like something real happens, like, you know, someone passes away, and it's like you go there and you realize it's like, damn, I need to care more about this. Like I do need to be better. I do need to be more present. Like you spend so much time worried about other stuff. Like just take a step back and like make sure that what you think is important is in check, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's like
I think it's hard sometimes too whenever you have this dream of whatever it is that's always constantly kind of itching you, and it's always talking to you like you need to be doing this, and if you want to make it at this, you got to do whatever it is you got to do. That voice is always, you know, going and carrying on in the back of my head. And then there's also this other voice that says that probably is never going to happen, and you might need to focus on a more realistic life or a more realistic goal. Like you need
but
to.
you can't let that creep
It's always,
in.
yeah,
Like,
it's
but I'm
always
sa-
doubt
but-
that will creep in.
But what I'm trying to say is,
Oh,
that those
it
two
does,
forces
yeah.
working against each other in your head all the time are very, very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps me up at night. Like I feel like you can look into someone's eyes
no,
and
I
tell when
agree.
they got a busy brain. I think that you can look in my eyes and see I have a busy brain, and it keeps me up at night, and it hurts. But you know, there is that
I
voice
think
that's
that's
always
just the
saying,
mind of a creative, man. It's like
It
I'm
is.
always just trying to think of something. Like,
dude, I was
something's going, and like it's like I can't figure it out. Like I'm missing something, and then we go do something together as a collective, and like we make connections. We do it. We have a good time. Like everything goes like usually better than what, you know, in everything we do. Like every video we go out to shoot, you know, like it usually comes out better than what we even thought from the beginning.
I just look at it like a gift from just trying to accomplish something. Like you
Yeah.
get those little gifts throughout the day from.
But it's
that just
almost like
happen
you
naturally.
worry so much about actually doing it, and then when you do it,
It's like
works.
why?
It's like,
why
you
was
know,
I so worried about
it's like-
that? I try to explain this to my female friend. She says she's watching me do stuff, working on the video, or I was helping her sister figure out how to edit her photos or whatever. She's like, I'm just not creative. Like, I don't know how to be creative, or I can't just create things in my mind. And I'm like, I don't really think it's something that you come up with. I think it's just the way that you see everything.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. I think that everyone has it, but like,
I mean, even as a child, just like figuring out what I like it's. I always went out and sought it. You know, it's like
I think it's the way that you see things and the way that you feel things.
And I've actually thought about this too, especially hanging out with Party Mike. Sometimes, you know, the thoughts that like keep me up at night are just like thinking about like, you know, if I have a family, like how do I instill like not necessarily complex thinking, but like how do you get, you know, because no one set me down and was like, hey, this is how things work and you have to think about this and this. You know, you just kind of figure stuff out. And like some people don't have certain social skills, or like, you know, you'll be out, like, for example, like someone getting mad at a restaurant and like cursing at like like I would never do that. Like that doesn't make sense to me. But like some people just like, I don't know, man. Like how do you instill good traits into somebody? And like people, not only traits, I think maybe traits are more easier, but like how do you teach someone to like think deep or like create things, you know? Like where does that interest come from?
I think it's little things. Like I think back myself, I think back as a kid, my mom was always coloring and like doing stuff like that, and I feel like I was doing that with her. Okay. Just little stuff that you pick up from everything.
Now that you say that, my mom was
build you.
She took pictures. She used to scrapbook.
Yeah.
Like,
see, nobody in my family is creative like that. Well, that's not true.
So but you had to have picked it up throughout life in different places.
I just always look at...
But it's like you have the drive, I would say, from like watching your mom build this business.
I mean, I would say for sure, but whenever I look at things, I don't ever try. It's a curse. I don't enjoy a finished product. I have to think about how it's made. I have to think about, you know, what made them choose these color schemes and stuff, because it attracts me. And how did they know it would attract people? I can't just look at something and enjoy it. And I fucking hate that sometimes. But I also love it because that's the reason why I am the way that I am. It's like when I was talking about, I don't think creativity is something that you just spring inside of you. I think it's something that is in the way that you feel. Like I told her, it's like, this is why I feel every little emotion, or I notice every little thing when things aren't right. And it's just like, I think that everybody has that somewhere. It's just whenever you feel that passion for something.
I'll give you a perfect example of just like exactly what you're saying. Like I got my girl this bracelet one time. It has a bee on it. She wears like 4 bracelets at one time. And da-da-da-da-da. I came home one day, and that shit was on the microwave. And, bro, that shit pissed me off so bad. And I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way. And, like, the dog had, like, jumped on her and, like, got her bracelets money, so she had, like, cleaned it, and it was drying. And it was just, but, like, same thing. I was like, that deep. I was like, oh, she's tripping.
It's never
I was like,
deep.
she's tripping on something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hell no. You know, it's like, I went through it all. I was like, she's scheming on me. I was like, the worst. You know, I was like, oh, this conniving.
Just building it up in your head to be something so crazy.
6 years wasted of my fucking time. I was like packing a bag.
All over a bracelet.
And see, like, I don't, it's people who don't understand that. It's like, man, whenever you are kind of driven the way that I'm driven.
Not to cut you off, but she comes home and she's like, all happy to see me and shit, and I just like stare at her wrist, and she was like, "Are you talking about my bracelet?" I was like, "No, I didn't say a word." You know, but my bad. Sorry to cut you off.
But whenever you like get inspired by things and create like we do, I also think you're one of those people that notices every little detail about life, and it's so hard because a lot of times you're just overthinking, like you were overthinking the bracelet. Like, if I go to my girl's house and she just seems like she's not into me, I'm like, she don't know it, but I'm sitting there wondering, it's like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong?
What did I say?
What did I, and you know, I hate that I feel that way because it drives me to sometimes ask a question that would piss any girl off. Like, you don't like me anymore? You know, like, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, why would you say that? And I'm like, I don't fucking know why I said that, because I just notice every little thing. And the thing is with people is that sometimes things that are unrelated to you or anything you got going on can sometimes make a person act a certain way even towards you, and they don't even know that they're doing it.
True.
So like they don't think about stuff like that. People who are just, not looking at every little detail. And I just notice every little detail.
Perfect example.
It's no insult to people like that, because I don't like being this way all the time.
Just differences.
It's like the immediate of like not wanting to just think good. So like your mom told you that someone told her like, yeah, I watched this podcast and da da da, and you told that to me, and we literally were both like, no, they didn't.
They didn't watch the podcast.
Like they did. They don't do that. And you even said, he was like, Mom, he's just saying that.
That's what everybody says.
The next day, we meet up with somebody else, and they say the same person was talking to them about watching it.
About a certain part of the episode.
A different part.
Yeah.
It was about a different part.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
like,
me and Trevor was like,
I feel bad now.
I feel bad as shit.
And I actually
was like,
watched
yeah, I
it.
should have.
I actually
watch
appreciate you for watching it.
And I was like, man, that's crazy. I was like, I'm an asshole. I was like, I just need to be appreciated. And like I said, bro, I think we think that people, we've been doing pretty good about cursing, but, we think people give a fuck about everything that we do, and they don't. Like, every person,
they shouldn't.
Dude, I don't give a fuck about everything else, bro.
No,
like,
I know.
It's
It's not there. I mean,
not in a bad way, like but it's
people are more occupied with their
people
own
like
self.
cool shit. If you put cool shit out, people be like, "Oh, that's cool. I enjoy it."
It ain't that deep.
But they're not. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's like
It's only deep to us because we're the ones making it.
exactly.
I
So
think the overthinking lies in both sides, like the negative, like when you overthink into the bad things, and then as a creative, you overthink into the good things of what you're working on, and that's what makes you such a creator. And so
I
good at what
found-
you do, you overthink into it in a good way.
it's
I found this clip.
it's like a, what do they call it?
Okay, it's gone now. Fuck. But
Is it the three of us walking together?
no, I'm not being rude. Just let me look
No, do your
something.
thing. But it's like the point in that is like, it's like people aren't worried about, like, I don't think people are really thinking about like, I want to see them fail. Like,
No,
I
they don't
really
care about us enough to want to see us fail,
Yeah,
dude. Like
I don't, bro.
they
It's
really
like-
don't.
And I think once you realize that like, and you can buy into just making cool shit and wanting to be a part of something bigger than you and wanting to build a legacy and a dream and you got a passion for something. And
I think-
once you realize like the other aspect of like, no one cares, just make cool shit, it like allows you to create freely. Like,
I'll tell you, it's completely related to that. The clip I was talking about, I love watching Rick Rubin podcasts and stuff he talks about because he's just such a I don't
genius.
give a
He's
fuck.
just- yeah, he's like-
I just create because it feels right. And he said, I think sometimes as artists or whatever you want to consider us, we like to make a product and we really hope that people appreciate it. But what he said is that you can't expect to receive something from creating. You have to create because it feels right, and that's what
I
you
did
love
watch
to do,
that on your
and that's
story,
what you
yeah.
want to do. Like you can't expect anything from it. Like that's out of your control.
And I think it goes beyond creating. Like, I think you should be a good person to people, knowing that there's shitty people out there.
Don't expect
and
nothing from it.
The dude at Bojangles ain't gonna give you your chicken biscuit sometimes. And it's like, but you still,
Because the dude at Bojangles
don't
is just
turn-
worried about his shit going on
you
in
don't
life.
turn the car around and yell at him and tell him
I
he's a
didn't.
piece of shit.
You just say,
It's
I'm-
like, no, I didn't say he did, but I'm like, it's like you should treat people nice because that's just the right thing to do. Like, you shouldn't expect something. You shouldn't give.
Not at all, no.
You shouldn't give and expect. A what's it called? You shouldn't give and expect something back. Like.
Yeah, you shouldn't expect a.
But
an
that's also
outcome.
kind of goes back to the like, I don't know what instilled that in me, but not everyone's like that. And how do you get people to do that? Or is it just a natural thing where like
I
either
think it's a natural thing. I think when you make something
you
with
kind of
love,
understand the game or you don't?
I think whenever you make something with love and passion, corny as it may sound, people can feel that. This is like I talk about the biggest stuff I've ever done on my YouTube or whatever it is. I really was out there sweating and like trying to create something cool.
So into it.
And whenever you get that feedback and it's in the numbers and it's in the comments, it's like, wow, the universe probably really felt that I was trying.
It's obvious
because
that you
I was trying,
put that into it.
I got something in return, and it was that little bit of validation in what I did. Like, oh, this actually worked, and it's great to feel that. And I don't think every time that you make something, if it doesn't get feedback like that it means you didn't care about it or have passion whenever you're working on it. But I do think if you work with that passion enough and long enough and that care, and like you're really trying to do something to help people and influence people in a way that can make their life a little bit easier in anything that they're doing, I think that sometimes you get that little bit back from the earth naturally. I think that everything works together. Yeah. I think it's all energy, and whenever you put good energy out there, I think that you're eventually going to receive it.
One of my favorite things is actually talking to Rodney, because he's done it multiple times. And shout out to him, man. I'm waiting on my book. You know, I think shipping's. Oh, yeah. He says shipping starts in June, so you know we're waiting. How many copies? We got like 3 of them at least, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like he'll hit me up sometimes, and like he'll be like, I was at work listening to the pod. This is what I think, or like this is what I thought, or I like this, or I like that. And it's like, man, you know, shout out to him for one, but it's really, you know, it's people that like, you know, I like to think that we help him because we have the same job, me and Rodney do. So I like to think when he's doing his job, like he's listening to us, and it's just making his day a little bit better. Mm-hmm. You know, like, yeah, and that's rewarding. Like I got cold chills, like trying to explain that. It's like that's so fucking rewarding. Like the feeling of that is like cool as fuck. Like showing KG the new video and him just like he's enjoying like, it and loving it, and like
that moment was so tight. Dude.
Yeah, he was like, dude, my jaw is dropped. Like
he was like him saying thank you. I'm like, no, bro, thank you. Like, what are you talking about?
You
like,
let us do this.
Saying.
Yeah, it's like
you let us come into your place of business and like probably fuck it up for some people who just want to get a drink.
Yeah.
So we can do this, and it's what we want to do, and you're a part of it now, you know. And I love that guy.
And you know, we talked about this offcast, but you know, like loyal to a fault, like that's my dog for life, forever. Yeah. Like no matter what, like I will drive across town forever to go shop with KG before anything else, because
I ain't been in another convenience store and I don't remember when.
I don't,
unless I'm out of town.
When I go to work, I have to get gas. You know, when I go to work, that's it. But like if I want something, bro, I'll drive across town just because like that's my dog and I'm loyal.
Because he puts like, that
energy out. It's reciprocated,
and that's why he receives so much positive energy.
Yeah, I think that's just how you got to move with that. I got to get better at that. Like
me too.
You gotta,
it's not always easy.
It's a struggle. It's tough because being a good person is hard all the time. You know, it's like.
I mean, that's the balance of life. Is like good and evil. It's like, do I be good or bad today?
I actually thought about this.
Do I be good or bad to this person? No, it really is. It's hard because they're both just as enticing. Like sometimes you get a real good, like, especially whenever you feel like someone deserves your negative energy. It can be rewarding in its own evil way.
This thing happens to me.
So I mean, like it can.
At the day job, man, I tell him, I'm like, hey, I don't want to work Saturday every fucking week. Mondays are shitty because I get in a fight with someone at work every single Monday morning because the schedule comes out on Sunday and I'm scheduled on a fucking Saturday, and it's like I always approach it just like pissed off. They know the deal. I know the deal. We argue. They tell me they're gonna fire me. I tell them you can't fire me. I'm too fucking important. Like, we call the big boss. He's like, hey, chill the fuck out. I'm tired of having this conversation. We shake hands, and then rest of the week is good. But it happens every week. And, like, first thing this morning, I woke up. I seen it. And usually it's the first thing that happens to me on Sunday. I'm pissed off because I see it. But I seen it. And, you know, last week, the dude came on and was like, come down next week. I said, we'll be there, bro. Promise. Mm-hmm. You know? So we're going to that. We're going to that on Saturday. It's farther away. And it's like we were kind of running short on time this week. So I'm like, I thought this all through in my head. I was like, I could spaz out right now. And I could go through this thing the whole week and, you know, get in the fight Monday morning, be pissed off, then not talk, and just work my ass off on Saturday and get it done or whatever. Or I can, you know, be cool and be like, hey, bro, I'll bust my ass for you this week. But Saturday, I need you to look out for me. I got to be done at like 1 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And it will probably go the way I want it, you know, because and it's like, it's just react, like thinking before you react is like,
It's fixing your perspective.
yeah, you know, it's
Thinking
like,
before you react is a good one too, because I'm not always the best at that. Like thinking things through before I react,
no,
and then I immediately regret it. And in my mind, and those, it's like it's too late. Like, why didn't you think about that
yeah,
before you had an outburst? Like, you're not a child.
nah, same. And
You
then
know, you're not a child. You
but
can't just throw a tantrum.
at the same time, I'm a grown up, so I know when I do that, I know the consequences. I know the outcome, and you
I
know,
don't. That's my problem. Is I
gotta-
sometimes if it's
You got to accept the outcome, whether you like it or not.
well,
And
yeah,
so-
for sure. And I think that whenever you're a human being, I think certain things may lead up to your outburst throughout a whole day, even non-related stuff, and then you find the perfect place or the perfect person to take it out on, and you regret it. Like, you might hurt somebody's feelings, or someone might look at you. Some people may not be able to look at you the same way after you throw a tantrum.
No, that's
You know, and
that's
like
a fact.
if it's someone you care about, you also just gave them a reason to have something against you, and you don't want that, especially if you care about each other, if it's friendship or whatever it is. And
But I think if it's real though, I think like it should be fixed. You know, it should,
yeah, absolutely.
shouldn't ruin it. You know,
No, I agree. And that's why what I'm saying is whenever it is with someone that the feelings of real friendship, real love, whatever it is, it does get fixed. It might take time.
yeah,
You know, it might be hard to explain to somebody like, well, I learned my lesson and I don't want to do that again. Why should they believe you?
but see,
You know, that takes time in order to fix that. So you have to prove yourself.
that's a fact.
You have to prove yourself from then on out. If you fuck up again, then you don't deserve it.
But
You deserve what you're going to get
on the
if you
flip
care
side
about
of,
that person.
of the loyal to a fault coin, I'm also a grudge holding guy. You know,
I
like,
used to be, but if you want to be happy in your
like
life,
I'm a
bro,
hater to a fault too.
you can't.
Like I can, really buy into like, nah, he's a op. for
I
no
mean, it
reason.
depends on
You know?
it depends on the situation, but I also don't think that you should let certain things live in your brain to where it affects your life.
That's a fact. That's
You
a
know what I
fact.
mean?
That's a
Like
fact.
if it's up when you see that person and you're done with them, you're fucking done. Be done. But that's it. Don't think about it
mean,
no more.
again,
be
like I
done.
said-
Don't let them back in. Do whatever you got to do, but do not let things that happened yesterday mess up your tomorrow or your next day. Like my whole early 20s was holding grudges, and my life is this because of what you did to me. And like, no, bro, it's because you think like that every day. That's why your life is negative.
Nah.
You
One
know?
of my favorite Dion quotes that, I've just got on this week, he says, the opinion of people can't affect me. He doesn't he's like, I don't have bad days. I may have bad moments, but it doesn't affect my whole day because you weren't there helping me build me. You weren't there, so like your opinion can't make or break me because you didn't build it, like you didn't do it. Like,
Yeah.
you're not a part of what I became. So it's like
Good or bad.
good or bad.
So you
know?
can't let that person even be a part of that.
Exactly. Like if you don't,
Especially if it's bad, it's
and
like,
what you just said is like, bro, if you don't want to change, you're not gonna change
yeah,
until you start thinking it's like, I need to fix this, I need to fix that.
life is too fucking short, man.
It's a solo game too, man.
Far
Like,
too short. It is a solo game.
like it that
you
it,
can have,
it is and it's not. Like we got a team.
you got each other, and you got,
we got
other
each other,
people.
but
But you got to hold yourself down before you come to the team.
I started
It's
saying,
why
Be
it's-
right to be right with everybody.
it's why when
Exactly.
people talk about the weakest link, you're talking about the person who hasn't done enough for their self in order to be a strong link whenever you come together. That's why someone could be a weak link. They haven't worked on their self, or they don't value their self enough to do what they got to do in order to be a link that is strong for a group of people that are in order to try to get to a goal or to create something or to be a part of something. That's why you work on yourself. It's nothing to do with like you weren't a part of this for me, but it's also like I know in order to be a link that's strong, I have to work on myself constantly, and we all have to work on ourselves constantly.
but that's why that's also why I love this, because it's like, damn, I'm hungry.
Should have ate that biscuit, bro.
I wish I had a biscuit, man. But that's what I love this, because like I told y'all, bro, like I don't confide in nobody. Like y'all are my dudes. Pause. Like y'all the homies. Like y'all who I talk through things with, you know, like not on here, but like in real life, like
we do it,
you know, and like
we
that's
talk.
what it's supposed to be. And it's
we're just fellow friends, grown men that go through things differently and deal with different things.
Young adults.
It's
We
literally
can bring it
when
to each other as a man, be like, hey, I'm dealing with this, and it's like
what we said when we started this podcast was, and it's kind of grew now, and this is kind of a freestyle thought, but if it comes out profound, then I'm gonna say I've been thinking of it.
let's go.
But we started and we said we want to figure out how to do a podcast, but I think it's just figuring out as men how to like handle this whole shit,
how to handle life,
where we're at, like what we're going through,
and then it comes out in a podcast, which is just a few guys that don't really know what the fuck they're doing.
No, I don't know.
And we get to like talk about our, you know, dealings and everything that we're going through in a way where it's conveyed as good as it can possibly be conveyed. And it's kind of weird in a way, but it's also really cool.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't understand any of this, but all I can do is just wake up and try. You know, it's like, it's that simple. You do it or you don't.
I'd rather try and fail every time than never try.
And that's a fact.
Just live with regret.
I mean, yeah, and sometimes I feel like, man, I live with regret for some of the things I've tried to do because it ended up embarrassing or whatever, but at the same time, I also learned a lot of shit. It's the reason why we can put together a podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to start making these images for our brand and these, you know, videos, putting them together, and even the audio or whatever it is. Like, we didn't learn how to do that by doing a podcast. We learned stuff by trying new things. And a lot of people don't try new things. Is it funny, like, oh, you want to come out and be like a musician or whatever? That's funny to some people. But I also learned just through doing that how to do all the stuff that I do now.
Yeah.
That's why my Instagram photos are insane, because I learned how to do that trying to do it for my music. You know,
it's all pieces of the puzzle of the man that you became.
That's why I can make a dope Party Mike music video or
hell yeah,
put together a podcast, and it's all, you know. I like to say I've fucking done a lot. Like, most of the imagery and everything that you see came from my hands, and I love that.
And same on the other end of it, like being a creative and not being happy with the final product. I also feel like that's the reason, like, you know, I started making beats. That was kind of the start. All right, now I can't listen to music without hearing every sound in the beat. Like, I'm not even, you know, I got to listen to a song 3 times to just hear the song
and like wonder
in total, because the first time I'm listening to the hi-hat pattern and where the drums are, and like the second time I'm listening to the background sounds and where the beat cuts off, and the third time I got to listen to what the fuck he's saying, you know. And it's like, but I wouldn't trade that for the world, you know. Like,
I love when people love music and I'm just sitting around like, I could have put this drum pattern together. I know how to do it. I know how this was done. I do like that. Yeah. But at the same time, I hate whenever I can't just sit back and enjoy something.
And enjoy it, yeah. It's like, I don't know. It's a catch-22.
And a curse.
But
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I said, and I wouldn't trade the conversation. Like 59 episodes, bro, that's at least 59 hours. Like,
over that.
If I'm on my deathbed and you give me 3 days, they're like, you got 3 days to live. Shit. Run up to YouTube, man. Pull them up, man. Let me hear me talk about me cranking my hog when I was a young man. Like,
damn, that's tight.
With the homies, like, that. And I mean, you got to think about it. Like, that's what it is. It'll live forever. Like,
that's how I think of all the stuff that I do.
I think
now.
That's what's great. Like, I think when this shit pops off,
when I'm 80.
I think when this shit pops off and, like, you know, we're about to sign a big deal and someone's like, pulls up episode 47 of us talking about watching, you know, the P word on our laptops as kids, and they're like, you're gonna support these guys? It's like, yeah, they like,
it's real.
It's called growth, because that was episode 47. We're on 447, and
the growth means longevity, dude.
So it's, I don't know, man. It's fun to think about. Yeah. But that's also another thing that I get anxious about, is like, I almost get anxious dreaming. I'm like, nah, that's too big. You can't do that. And then I see people do it, and I'm like, nah, you got to go harder. You got to dream harder. You got to.
I just think that those people never had in mind that that's where they would end up. I think that's the big difference between me and a lot of people.
And they all say that. They're like, I just tried and I never quit.
Yeah, like I just
like that's the answer that I always tell y'all. And like, bro, consistency. Like, just don't quit. You never see no one not make it. You see people quit and give up on it.
Yeah.
But like the people who quit, and I mean the people who don't quit, and there's a level of like you got to keep improving and keep loving what you do, because if you don't love it anymore, you should quit. But like,
if you don't love it, you're just not pushing yourself. Because whenever you push yourself and you accomplish something cool, whether it be an edit or whatever it is, something you've never done before, bro, it feels good.
Yeah.
It's that reward system in your mind and in your brain.
I think talking about quotes, I heard this J. Cole quote out, like it's just a motivational video, but he was saying somebody might be meant to do something and they keep doing it over and over and
I
it
posted
fails.
that one.
Okay, that's
just
what I
a
saw
couple
it then.
days ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so he said, I mean, you could do it
10 times.
10 times and then quit and never know, but not knowing that you were meant to make it
On your 11th.
on that 11th try. So like you said, people that don't try
Yeah.
and give up, it won't happen.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get off the sad shit. I reckon.
I don't think it's sad.
I don't think it's
good
sad.
conversation.
I don't think it's sad. I think it's good conversation. You know, some things need to be said. You just got to get it off your chest.
Mhm.
You know, that's what we do. But
It's what we do.
it's what we do.
No, it was a great conversation. I feel like I haven't been able to like convey good thoughts like that in a long time. I don't know if it's because I'm not drinking today.
That's probably it.
It probably is, and
It's
the thing is
probably it.
like
Once the beer's flowing, the
I
heart is
You
love-
don't want to focus on that.
I
The
love to
hogs
be
get to
goofy.
cranking.
I love to be goofy just as much as y'all do, and like I know that sometimes and a lot lately it's really just been a goofy podcast, but
You got to balance the goofy with the serious.
I mean, if you remember early on, a lot of our thing was the serious, you know, just
a lot of it was serious early on.
because we were still
I think once Party
trying to
Mike
figure
came,
out what
it
we were
kinda got
doing.
goofy. Party Mike brought the party.
damn.
We started partying a lot more when Party Mike came.
I said, hey, I ain't going to drink this 24 pack by myself.
Nah. But I think that's, you know, the next, I would say we don't do it in seasons, but, you know, we like to switch things up every 25 episodes or so. So, like, we're kind of in the middle of that. But, you know, I think the next edition of this is more, you know, more guest conversations, business conversations, like motivational conversations, like real conversations with,
And
you
those
know.
are things you have to take serious.
You got to take serious. You can't be the jokey guy all the time if you want to get business done. It's just like at the
You can intertwine that.
it's just like at the wrestling thing last night. You know, I'm talking to this guy. He's like telling me about this, and like, you know, I'm talking to him. I'm thinking of you know, things we can do, and like I had to stop real quick and just hand Trevor my hot dog because it's like I can't talk to this man serious right now, holding this half-eaten hot
Glizzy.
dog and like trying to be serious and like funny. I had to like hand it off to him and kind of lock in and be like, no, this is what we do. Like, we got a podcast. We, you know, it's like, and then talking to all different people, like trying to like network and get people to come on. It's like, I mean, even with you and, you know, hopefully a special guest we got going on, it's like navigating
That would be
like,
a really cool one.
like navigating that whole, like, you got to sell it, but we're not selling nothing, you know? It's like, we can't offer you nothing, but, you know, this is what we're trying.
No, I mean, like, in all reality, where we're at is if you come on this podcast, you're really doing us a favor.
100%.
And if you look at us and most of the people that we've had on are like, wow, I really like this. You know?
Yeah.
So to me, that's like,
Again, we undersell, but we over deliver, which is, I don't think is a bad thing.
No.
Necessarily, because, you know, you kind of,
I'd rather be that than vice versa.
yeah, I'd rather, you know, than be more pleased than
we don't really have
disappointed.
nothing to offer you, you know?
No.
Other than a
Except
conversation.
for us, but we can talk to anybody. I think we're pretty good.
That, and, you know, I mean, there will be, if those people succeed in their dreams and we succeed in ours, there will be something to look back at.
A
and
rising tide
hopefully
lifts all
be like
ships.
legendary content, like early fucking No Jumper when they're interviewing X
Yeah.
or Lil Peep, and like it wasn't a big thing. They weren't really that big of a thing,
Yeah.
and it became legendary. Not to, I don't want to shout them
think
out
it's
too
the
much because
process, man. I
their
think it's
shit
the,
went bad, but
I think that's what I you know, I may have said this before, but I think that's what I love the most. It's the process of like doing it, like being in here and actually doing it, and like everything else is like after the fact. Like posting it sucks, and like doing that part sucks, but the process of like doing it, like that's what I love. And I mean, it goes beyond that, bro. It's like just like relationships. Like when you first get in a relationship, like it's like the best thing. You know what I'm saying? You like that person, you're falling for this person, and like, not that it doesn't get old. You know what I'm saying? If it's a great relationship, but it's like the beginning, the process. Like you'll never get that again. You know, like you'll never get that. You'll never get the first date, you know. We'll never get the first podcast back. Like it's here, it's there, it's established. Like the work has been planted. You just have to build it, you know. And the process of building it is what I think is the most, you know.
If you don't love that process, you ain't gonna make it.
Like that's the meat and potatoes of the whole thing.
You gotta be in love with it.
That's why I try to tell y'all. It's like, you know, we're not perfect. We gotta do better. Sometimes we're all fucking lazy, but we all have a real life.
I think we do a pretty good job of balancing it, bro. I mean,
and try. I mean, for people who don't know what's going on, we get it done.
Yeah,
we don't know what's going on.
We don't expect them to know that.
No, I mean, and
they expect is what we do.
Some people look at it and say hateful things, and they are thinking in their mind they don't know what the fuck is going on, and that's fine because we fucking don't.
But again, you know? that's like the. You create without the boundaries, man. You know, you love what you create, and if that's not the first thing, then
it's okay to get things down to a science, but it's also not okay to try and formulate things all the time. Things have to live and be what they are in order to grow.
It's a fact.
They just have to be what they are, and if it's gonna grow, it's gonna grow. It's gonna come from hard work and just trying. You got. When did it become lame to like try? Some point in
I don't think it ever did, but I think it's.
I mean, that's what the stigma is. Is like
the hater mindsets.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that. I think it's because of the internet, but that's just me personally. I don't want to talk too much about that because we are trying to live
what
on
I
the
was
internet.
About to say is, I think you create that environment, man. Like if you let the negative stuff in, you do. But it's like I've seen it a lot on Twitter, bro. Like my Twitter it's dwindling from death and fucking titties all the time. But a lot of it's just Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes shit. But you know, like it's the world
something
is
more positive.
Yeah, it's like and even everything like you choose what you consume. Like yeah, you can look at all the negativity, or you can not look at that and watch something positive and get an idea of or watch music videos and pick out scenes to do, or like. You know, spend your time elsewhere. And it's like, it's what you make it. It's like, but that negativity, like, vacuum is like, pause, but the suction is like so, like, powerful, you know? Sometimes it just sucks you in and you're in the negative rabbit hole. But it's really easy just to get back out. Like, if the phone's pissing you off or something on it, turn it off. Mm-hmm. Go out.
Yeah, you kind of choose your choose your fate on the internet.
Yeah, like,
and that's what I said on my last YouTube video. It's like I don't really care that I was getting haters for a certain reason. I just remember whenever my thing used to be a place where people had real discussions in the comments, like a forum almost, and I missed that. So like in order for me to get that back or to try, I have to eliminate something that might have brought a lot of haters in. I don't want the 13-year-old stupid TikTok comments. Like, they're not actually offending me. I actually do a good job at using them for more content, but I just don't want my shit to be filled with that.
It's way more cool to see 3 people having a conversation about
yeah,
else.
Dude. It's just I miss that, so that's what I'm going back to. I'm going back to the real content, like the real passion content. You know, I can get my YouTube channel up to 200,000 views every 28 days if I want to by just talking shit with people.
What the fuck was that?
Do we need to check on it?
I think the ball just fell off the basketball hoop. I think that's all that was. Yeah, I think that's all that was. Yeah, that was crazy.
That got my fucking heart going.
That was wow. There's a ghost.
I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say.
No, but I was gonna say something about this podcast. Is I love it so much that everything we're doing is just growing naturally.
Yeah,
like we're figuring it out and we're learning how to get better.
That's one thing I'm very proud of. Is like
We're not forcing it.
One thing we haven't
proud of that we're still here.
One thing that we haven't worked on is like forcing it, like forcing it down people, and I don't want to do that. Like I really don't. Like I would rather people show up and be like, "Oh, this shit is crazy," and then go tell people about it and bring them in, and then build it. Like the grunt work, bro. Like the process, like one by one. Like one guest leads to this guest, you know, to viewers, and everybody's watching for this, and they're like, "Oh, these dudes are cool. Like I like their personality. Like they're funny," you know.
We want to be able to build off of people to people, but we want to get to a point where people can build off of us too.
For sure. Like
there's got to be a mutual benefit in order to have good guests.
Which is where we need to kind of get in our creative.
That's why we have to build our brand to a point where people feel like they get a benefit from it.
Yeah.
People, I mean, it's just human nature. People don't do favors for no reason.
But that's the thing,
you
too,
always
though.
do favors
It's like,
to get something.
You know, it's like you look at the numbers. Okay, 100 and whatever people listen to this every single time. But we go out and people notice us and come dap us up, and we spend 10 minutes trying to get into a place because we're talking to people, and like people see that and they're like, "What is that? What's going on?"
God, that means so much, dude.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the groundwork is there, and it's just one by one by one by one by one, and like that's how we got to do it. Let's do it. Like that's what I love to do, you know.
Like, yeah, I love that.
It's like
too.
You talk about that first date, all that stuff you can't get back. We're in those moments of figuring out how to build and like the groundwork. Doing that groundwork, we got to enjoy it. I enjoyed the hell out of that yesterday.
Nah, bro, it was fun. I'm telling you,
that was a great feeling. Like
that was my shit.
That was some genuine groundwork. Like just the feeling of doing that was.
And I just
awesome.
had a good time, like being with the squad, like you know, us three, and then you know, Spence and Jamie and Coy Bird, like it was just a squad. Like that's a great feeling, bro. Like walking in and kind of owning the place, like the feeling, you know, our energy, like we carried that whole show, and it's like that was us. Like we do that. Like it's cool. It's cool being that. Like I know that you know, like the little girl that sat across from us, you know, y'all seen her, you know, obviously she, you know, health conditions, you know, she struggles a little bit, and it's like I know we made her night better, cheering and getting loud and like
that was something that she enjoyed.
And I know that made her night better, and she enjoyed it. And she, you know, it's like
she was there to enjoy something, and seeing someone just
enjoy
enjoy it.
I'm proud that we can create that and like move like that. And my man Dante's family was behind us, and like we're talking to them, and then we talked to their parents in the parking lot and chop it up with them. Like just tell them like, bro, your kids are great. Like and it's like, bro, like that's awesome, bro.
Seeing those families and that mother support their son the way that they did at something that this is a crazy dream. Now those guys are young and they could go on.
Yeah.
But where they're at right now, it's just they're going off nothing other than this is what my son loves, and I'm going to love it as much as he does, and I'm going to support him. Bro, like that's something. And my parents have done everything that they can for me. And they always will. But one thing that they've never done is that they've never supported me like that. Anything that they didn't want me to do or don't agree with, they're not going to support me like this.
You think you went home right now and set Tammy and Todd down, and it was like, I want to give up this real estate dream. I want to go be a wrestler. What do you think Todd's saying?
He'd be like, "You're fucking crazy. Are you kidding? Are you kidding?" Hey man, but my parents, they can expect anything with me. Like I've done similar to that. Like, yo, I'm gonna quit this D1 baseball career. I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna be a fucking rapper.
I guess it's the same thing.
It is. It's the same thing. The thing is, I didn't just do that. I just did what I wanted to do. I'm like, you know what? Ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to know what this was like. I've been a rap nerd my whole life, and like. I watched plenty of people do it. For me, it was like an era of watching people my age.
Oh yeah.
Just be creative and cool on the internet, and really make something of themselves from it. And seeing where they are now, as we're a little bit older now, 27.
Right, I got a question. I just thought of this because, like, for me, the essence who embodies that, to me, it would be like Chief Keef. Like not music
I think
related,
of someone like Lil Yachty.
Not nothing, but like I look at him, we're the same age. I was in high school when he was dropped out of high school and was making music.
Popping off, dude.
And it's like I seen him grow, and like he's just the coolest dude. He plays games. He does what he wants to do. He has his boys with him.
Chief Keef
So,
is
like,
40 years old to me, and he's my age. You know what I mean?
So I would say like a Rushmore. I don't know what a Rushmore of what. I can't title it. You know what I'm saying? But like, who's some people that are just like up there that like embody that for you? Like mine would be Chief Keef, Bronson, Pat McAfee, Andrew Schultz, and probably Joe Rogan. That would be like mine.
Just like people who just do what they
Just
want to do.
people who
and
like
it's just cool as
do
fuck.
it and it's cool.
Yeah. Like I said, Lil Yachty.
Yachty's up there, like
Because
I
like look at
respect
where he
Yachty
is now.
that.
Like
yeah,
it wasn't even the rap. I didn't even like his music when he first started, but like I liked him.
mm-hmm.
This guy's just being him and being cool.
yeah.
He's definitely one of those for me.
I respect Yachty like that.
One of my biggest inspirations in just being cool and being himself and not caring what people think. Cole Bennett. Huge.
Cole Bennett, yeah.
Huge to
That's a
me.
good
Cole Bennett's up there.
I would put Christian Guzman up there, who's a YouTuber. He's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
bodybuilder.
Okay, well, his
Just in the
homie,
essence of Joe Knows Best.
Joe
you know,
Knows
like,
Best. He's one of mine.
Just in
'cause
the essence of everything
Bro,
he's built, he would be like 5.
just
So
from
picking
being
5,
really
he would
a
be
really
up there.
cool videographer.
Mhm.
Joe Knows Best. If you don't know, look him up. He does kind of like he's a wealthy young guy and he's
Yeah.
really good at videography and a lot of my stuff is modeled after his. But like he just does cool car stuff and it's not always cars though. It's other stuff. Like he has a cool enough life to where he can bring you inside of it a little bit and be like, "Wow, I just want to watch more of this." He's
Yeah.
not even the most likable
Yeah,
guy.
no.
He's not. He's kind
That
of
whole little like Houston area of like where all those
Like
dudes
Max
started,
Tuning
all
and
of them.
Christian
Well, he's from North
Guzman.
Carolina actually, but they linked up on the internet,
Mhm.
and then he just moved. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm going out there and chasing the dream."
They have
And now
their
that dude,
videographer in the
that
bill,
dude is the most
fire.
successful out of all of them off the candy.
Yeah.
He's like selling 20 million bags of candy to Target on like a Monday.
Yeah.
And like he started on YouTube. He started
Um,
deadlifting. He was a skinny dude who deadlifted a lot.
Bro, another one for me, just going off the same stuff. It don't got to be rappers or YouTubers or whatever, but this
No,
guy,
no.
His name is TJ Hunt. Everyone who is in the cars knows him, but him and his boy, literally, I mean, he is wealthy now.
Yeah.
Wealthy. His brand is huge. His YouTube is huge. I mean, millions of dollars. This guy started out with his best friend doing like one-shot camera videos of them putting a diffuser on a BRZ.
Yeah.
Like in their garage of their parents' house. And like now this guy's living out in Southern California, got this huge shop, this huge brand, just building the coolest cars and like being
Loves it. And
Dude.
does what he loves.
does what he loves. I mean, I remember he bought an individual G82 M4. Individual means it's like an individual color. You can't like getting a hold of one is like a special thing, especially in a new gen car. But he got that car. Not only did he get it, but somehow he got his hands on a $130,000 body kit from BMW. That's a full carbon body kit for the M4 GT3, which is their
Race
track car.
yeah.
And you can't even get those for one. So how he got it, nobody knows. Then him and his team, they actually turned they cut up an individual M4. Did the body kit. The body kit's not even made for, like the M4 they make for that car, BMW, it's a different car. Like the wheelbase is different. So they had to do all this stuff to make it work. And I remember he did this. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars invested and not even knowing if it was going to work.
Yeah.
They got it done, and all the comments on the internet were about, oh, the wheel gap is atrocious. Like all the little kids like thinking it's going to be some slam fucking car. It's like they built a race car from a car that he bought at a dealership.
Yeah.
And like you're taking it the wrong way. Like
Yeah.
the reason why they can't get the wheel gap right is because this body kit is so big. It's not actually really for this car. They lower it, any of the fucking shit's going to be on the ground.
Yeah.
So they don't understand that. And it's just funny. Like,
And you hear the passion, him trying to explain it that.
I
Like
hear it, dude.
that's the shit that I'm talking about.
he's,
like,
but just seeing where he started, it's just like anyone can do it.
no, 100%.
There's other ones too, like Adam LZ. There's a bunch of them.
Who you got, Party Mike? Who's some of yours?
I was thinking so hard, but it's like I got a lot of the same ones. Like I mean, a Theo Von or a Joe Rogan when it comes to this.
I
But,
love
like,
Joe Rogan. He's on
Than me
mine.
being like a white rapper, I just instantly start thinking of white rappers like me coming up through 2010s to like Mac Miller to
Oh yeah,
Mac Miller's got to be on mine.
It's got to be.
a G-Eazy to a Jack Harlow or whatever. Like, I know it's probably corny as hell, but
No, but they're
just,
the ones
just
that do
seeing
it.
that and like, I don't know, just kind of reassure me like people do it. It is possible.
Yeah.
You just got to do it right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't know. I automatically think rappers, but there's plenty of people, even just regular people in my life.
Oh, 100%.
But-
Like KG, I would put up
KG.
there, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just like, you know, seeing him and
I
like
put him above like a Joe Rogan, dude.
100%.
It's cooler when you know him in real life.
Yeah. It's like, as far as real life things go, like KG's not making a YouTube video, but like I strive to be a great man,
good
and
person
a
like
good
that.
person, and build relationships like that.
And
You
be
know, I look
funny.
up to him. So yeah, 100%.
And be yourself.
And be yourself, bro. Like KG is KG. Like
You can love him or you can hate him, but KG's just KG.
that's KG, baby. Like he's always gonna be that. And
Yeah.
I love that. I respect that. Like it's how I want to be. Like whatever. But I don't know, man. It's like I guess that's got to go back into like how we formulated or why we think like this. Because I would put like watching like early Breakfast Club interviews about music and getting deep into music and
That's all I used to do for years.
same. Getting into the podcast shit, listening to Joe Rogan super, super early. I mean, when I was in high school, like hearing conversations that like I remember, shout out to Rickus, bro. Me and him having a conversation about mushrooms, and like he had to be a year older than me, so probably my junior year of high school, and like listening to the Joe Rogan, like Terrence McKenna podcast, or Dennis McKenna, whichever one's still alive. I forget. I think Terrence is the one that died, and then I don't know. Anyway, but like listening to that and like just having like a whole like new idea of like, okay, what is life like? There's certain like just thinking about shit I wouldn't have
Dude.
thought about, or like being on YouTube, like seeing people do like following people vlogging, like. You know, I used to watch Timothy De La Ghetto, who eventually like made it on Wild and Out and is successful. And like I used to watch him vlog every day, and like he was an Asian dude who rapped, made music, made clothes, was into clothes and sneakers and cool. Just lived in California, like, and would vlog. And it's like watching all that stuff. That had to be what formulated like the dream of like you can do this, like you can make what you want. Like the world is bigger than little old Marion. Like you don't have to go get in Baxter's for 15 years and fill out VBAC. There's nothing wrong with that, but
It just,
you know,
it's
you don't have
more
to settle
assuring.
for that. If
Like,
you want that, like you can chase it. You
there's
know,
nothing wrong with it either. It's just I think people are so afraid of missing out, or maybe not even missing out, but like taking the chance of going backwards in life at all, that they have to do these things in order to continue to stay where they're at.
and
So whenever you take a chance on something else, it's never going to give you reassurance ever. This will never give us reassurance until it works.
I was
So
I was
you have
7
to
years
take
old.
that chance, and
I
it
was
sucks.
7 years old, and the big homie at the daycare gave me the 50 Cent "Get Rich or Die Trying" CD, and like even that "Get Rich or Die Trying," like it's not about having millions of dollars, but succeed or die trying.
You sit there and that's a
You
real
know,
concept.
like, that's
As a
a
kid,
real-
you sit there and you thinking about that.
You think about that. Get rich or die trying, and it's like, what is that?
I
Like,
think a fucking life of die trying is better than a, like, you might not get rich, but dying after trying feels better than never trying, I guess. I don't know.
100%.
You know, it's just like, that's a cool concept, and I never really thought that deep about it because I do love that album, my favorite 50
But
album.
I just remember that as a kid, like thinking about that, and like it's powerful. Like,
You got a
you
you got a
know.
life to do what you want with.
yeah,
Why not make the most of what you got and utilize your
Absolutely.
yeah?
you know.
100%, man. Just do something.
Why
And
not?
If your something is not anything that's gonna, advance you in life, but something you enjoy, you do that, and you
Why
do it
not?
like it's gonna get you paid.
Uh,
Some people don't even think like we do. Some
my
people,
mom
it's
used
like
to-
it's all about going home and doing this thing I love. I want to go home and paint every day, so I got to knock out all this other shit I got to do in order to pay for my house where I paint. That's how some people are, and that is fine. It gives them meaning and fulfillment whenever they do that. That's fine. It always ain't got to be about numeric numbers, money, whatever the fuck it is. Just do what you got to do to be happy.
we can end on
Hell
this, and we can go do some getting our creative bag the rest of the day. But my mama used to always tell me this quote, and it was like, I'm probably gonna butcher it, but she said, it's way easier to work hard to do things the right way the first time than to half-ass something and have to come back. You know, and it's like, why not just go all in the first time? Like, why not just, we only get one of these lives, you know? Like, this ain't Call of Duty, bro. We don't get shot and respawn, bro. Like, this is fucking real life. We get one shot. Like, why not go all in on what you believe in and what you want to do? And what you believe in and what you want to do can change over time. 100% I believe it can. You know,
always evolves.
A decade ago, I thought I was going to be, you know, I don't know what I thought I was going to be, but
probably
it wasn't
a hit
this.
Producer.
It wasn't this. Like, so it's like, I don't know. I just, you know, trust the process. Enjoy the process, man.
I know you've been to a funeral recently, and I know I have, and we all will have that day. And you're going to be laying there, gone. What are they going to say about you when you laying there?
I
give them. I say give them the most to talk about.
I'll say this, man. It's like I was at the funeral, and you know they have the eulogy, or what they call it. They play on the screen with everything, and
yeah, just like a little slideshow or whatever. Or?
It fucked me up because it was like I wasn't what was I? I was sad that he was gone, but it's more like I'm seeing the pictures and I'm like, man. He was a cold motherfucker, bro. Like, that was my dude. Like, I love that guy, man. Like, it wasn't so sad, you know. It was more of like, hey, I was emotional as fuck, and it fucked me up, and I don't like the fact that he's gone. But it's like, when I go, I want people to see the pictures and feel like that. Like, I want them to be like, nah, he really embraced it. He showed me this. Like, I want people to think of the good times. Like, I do want that. Like, it was almost kind of beautiful. Like, almost in a way. Like, trying. Yeah, like, or just
made the most of what.
Yeah,
and it's like his life.
I don't know, man. It was a weird feeling. It was like because you know he was older, he was sick, and it's like you know it's like he's resting now. Like, he did it. The work was done, and it's like I felt the same way with my pawpaw too. It's like they lived great lives, bro. Like, they laid it down. Like, they did it. Like, the work was done. Like, and I want people to think of me like that. Like, I don't want people to be like, you know, obviously I want people to miss me when I'm gone, maybe, but like, I don't want it to be so sad. I want people to be like, nah, he led a path.
He did his thing.
He did his thing, and he laid a foundation where it gives me hope, where I can follow that. You know, like, I can do that. You know, I think that's my ultimate goal. You know, if I can formulate, or, you know, if I go out tomorrow, put that as my last quote. You know, like,
yeah.
Send me off with that. But damn, I didn't want to end on such a dark note. But
that's real shit.
It's good. This was a great episode. Not every episode's gonna be like this one.
No,
you know.
But
I think there's been a lot of things happening in everybody's life that makes them, you know, be able to come up with these thoughts. I know it definitely does for mine. My whole life every day feels like conflict.
But I think it's important.
What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
We don't know who. You know, we really don't know who listens to this, who might be going through something. We're like,
that's what it's for. That's what this is for.
You know, one thing to end on, maybe. We don't know what we're gonna talk about on the next episode, the one after that, the one after that. But you know what we're gonna keep doing?
We gonna keep it pushing, baby.
We gonna keep it pushing.
Y'all my Crodies for real.
Y'all my Crodies.
Crody.
All right, boys, let's get out of here, man.